The Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour ended 2 days ago, and if you guys don't know what it was a 12-hour long Dragon Ball event, ranging from updates concerning the currently released Dragon Ball games. We even got a diorama piece made live on stream, as well as a mosaic art, and so much more. Now, note that they were hyping up this event for months, and I was initially skeptical about the event, but after seeing it in its entirety, I do have to say, it was handled very well. So with this being a big event, obviously it's going to garner the attention of a ton of people. And one of the best things that they did during this event was give you the option to either just watch it either on YouTube or to actually join their in-game app and experience it that way while being able to interact with everybody else. So again, if you guys missed it, they created a Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour app, and that application practically used assets from Xenoverse 2, put it into a separate application, and allowed you to interact with everybody. So think of it as like a more glorified version of the multi-lobby in Xenoverse 2, except that it actually runs well. And even saying that it runs well is an understatement. Like, that thing was 60 frames per second, 4K if you had like the monitor for it and the graphics card for it. It was freaking beautiful. But still, being able to have that kind of experience was nice. Again, we're not new to multi-lobbies. Like, it's been a thing for so many years now, but still just being able to gather all in one place to be able to either watch the event together or just meet up with random people or even meet up with some of the developers that hopped in during the stream from time to time was an amazing experience. Like, I would hope that if they were to do more events like this in the future, they would actually keep that as an option. Again, you didn't have to, because they still had all the separate channels on YouTube for you to view like whenever you wanted to, whether it was the Shenron arena, the Great Ape arena, or any of the various like colored arenas, right? But still, being able to interact with everybody who loves Dragon Ball in just one central spot was honestly an awesome experience. That's probably one of the biggest pros that I could give them. Initially, I was skeptical. I really thought it wasn't going to be executed well, but they did it, honestly speaking, perfectly. But of course, that is only one of the experiences during the event, because another cool thing they did was hire an amazing diorama artist named Satoshi Araki, and they hired him to recreate Father-Son Kamehameha in 12 hours. Now, note, dioramas take a long time to make, right? And especially seeing his previous work, it's safe to assume that it takes way longer than 12 hours to make something as detailed as possible. But within that time frame, he really sat there, spray painted the land, made every shadow under each rock, spray painted like Goku to make him look ethereal. Like, it was amazing. And if you guys haven't seen the diorama, I highly suggest that you go and check it out. It looks gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And again, that's only in 12 hours. Imagine if he had like multiple days to work on that, it would be even better. But just the fact that they managed to get him to make something like that, a very iconic scene in the Dragon Ball world for this particular event, is amazing. Like, I hope that they do something like this in the future as well. And yet, that wasn't the only art piece we got during the event, because there was another section that had workers of the event make a mosaic art piece as well. And I actually enjoyed it because throughout the entire event, we had no idea what it was going to be up until like a certain point, because obviously once they get a lot of pieces together, you can kind of form what it's going to be, right? But while we didn't know what it was actually cool to like see people speculate on what it was, or if it had greater meaning, or whatever the case may be, right? Initially, I thought it was gonna be either like Rose or like Boo, right? I had no idea up until I believe it was Bebop who told me, bro, look at the feet in the positioning, it's EX Goku, right? And you guys know the EX Goku I'm talking about, like the one that they literally throw at your face. I actually think he's the first unit you get in Dragon Ball Legends. But still, like, just the speculation of what the art piece was going to be was absolutely awesome. And I think what made it even better was that they made that mosaic art piece by taking all of the screenshots sent to them through, I'm pretty sure, Twitter, Facebook, and all other social media channels, and used those to make that image of Goku. That is absolutely insane, because that was thousands of pictures, and they still managed to make Goku from all of those pictures. That is absolutely insane, and honestly, good job to them, because I am not the artistic type at all. I would never be able to do that, but still, it was pretty dope. And of course, there were more things happening as well. I mean, another cool thing was the fact that they were able to get the producers of multiple Dragon Ball games and have them sit down and attempt to beat Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1's story mode on the hardest difficulty. And that was absolutely amusing. Like, they were stuck on Cell for the longest time, and I think the only person that actually beat it was Toshi. I'm pretty sure there was somebody else, and I actually might be mistaken. I have to go double check, but still, it was absolutely entertaining to watch. And again, just seeing all the producers there was already a sight to behold, because again, like, Toshi was there. Of course, if you guys know, he's the producer of Dragon Ball Legends. Hiroki-san was there, and she's the producer of Dragon Ball FighterZ. And of course, Hirano-san was also there, and he is the producer of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So again, seeing all of them there, obviously for the event, but also to try to beat that challenge, was awesome. And again, that's only one of the other things that was happening there, but the main thing that people were there for were the actual games and the updates concerning them. Now, they did actually talk about these updates like separately within each individual stream, but in the end, they did all come together and talk about the updates collectively. And one of the updates was that we were going to be receiving 2 new units in Dragon Ball Legends. One is a Future Trunks with a My Assist, which honestly looks absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to use that unit. But the other unit is the one I'm really excited about, and that is a brand new Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. And that unit is a legendary finish unit. His ultimate attack is Divine Lasso, and his legendary finish is the Scythe. It is the Scythe, and I've wanted that for Rose for so long now, and we're finally going to be able to use the Scythe with Rose. Though, like, not actually with, you know, his strike arts or anything, but his legendary finish, good enough for me. Like, I'm excited for that Rose. You guys already know I'm going 20k deep, bare minimum, which it'll probably end up being a step up banner anyway. So I say bare minimum, maximum 30k. We'll see how that goes. We also got updates on Xenoverse 2 for the next DLC pack, which we already know practically all of the content that's going to be in it. I mean, we know we're getting a new story mode portion concerning Few. We know that Pycon and God of Destruction Topo is going to be in the game. All of that good stuff. But we also did get a release date for that DLC. And if I'm not mistaken, that release date is on March 18th, with the free update dropping on the 16th. So because of that, yes, we will be continuing the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 story mode come the 18th. Note that I've been doing this story mode for almost 5 years, and we're still going. So yes, we're going to be continuing the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 story mode, but obviously apart from all that, I'm also excited to see Pycon and Topo in action. We didn't get any gameplay of them though, which is actually kind of weird, but still, just the fact that we have Topo and Pycon finally in the game is good enough for me. And that wasn't the only news, although we kind of knew this was also happening too, but we will be getting the next DLC pack after that in fall. And in truth, look, Xenoverse 2, I've enjoyed the game for many years, but look, bro, I need a sequel. I need a sequel already. Again, I've been doing this story mode for almost 5 years. I think it's time to make a new game, please. But with all that aside, yes, I will be doing the story mode, and I will also be covering the DLC characters individually as well. So don't worry, I will be covering that content as well. But I would say the biggest thing that happened during that event was the FighterZ tournament. Now, it was a tournament from multiple teams from multiple regions, and it lasted a very long time. Actually, I think it lasted the entire event. 12 hours worth of FighterZ like competitive gameplay is always a sight to behold. But apart from that though, we finally finally got the showcase of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And guys, let me tell you, that Gogeta is going to be unfathomably phenomenal. He looked so good in the game. I mean, obviously his design aside, because I mean, he looks clean regardless, the way he plays, the damage he deals, it is insane. And what's best is that if you have like the season pass, you get the character in 2 days. Like, I think he releases on the 12th, like for everybody else. And if you have the season pass, you get the character on the 10th. That's in 2 days. I can't wait to use that character. And you guys know me. Gogeta is my favorite fusion in all of Dragon Ball. And when we got Gogeta Blue, I lost my mind. Now we're getting Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and oh my goodness. If you guys haven't seen his level 7 install times 100 Big Bang Kamehameha, you need to go and watch that, because I guarantee you, your jaw will drop. There was also something that happened that I was happy about, because they have been very quiet about this particular game for a very long while, and that is the final DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Now, I know a lot of people were trying to figure out what it was going to be, whether it would have been like Tournament Power stuff, or maybe Dragon Ball Super Broly stuff. It's absolutely none of those, and in fact, is the Future Trunks special. It's going to be the history of Trunks, and I can't wait to play that, because you guys already know, I also love Future Gohan, right? And I love this special, seeing like what Trunks had to go through before he went to the past, right? And the fact that we're going to be able to play that in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is going to be insane. How they're going to handle it is a different story, because I mean, obviously you're gonna have to fight the androids multiple times. We're finally gonna be able to use like Future Gohan, which is gonna be awesome. But maybe they'll also tie it into like Trunks coming to the present. Maybe we'll get to see some extra scenes if he does come to the present. Like, for example, Final Flash from Vegeta, Super Trunks, any of that I would be okay with. But another thing would obviously be, like, if it's like all of that, I would hope that again we get the portions from Dragon Ball Z, like, you know, during the Cell Saga, and then obviously the end of all that when he goes back, destroys the androids, and fights Cell. Like, I think that would be the perfect way to make that DLC. But again, only time will tell. But I am excited, because I'm pretty sure that they're gonna handle it very well. And even at that, Kakarot's just a good game. Like, I love playing that game as like a complete playthrough for you guys. So now, knowing what the final DLC is, it's gonna be great to just hop back in the game and actually play it. But apart from that, there were other updates concerning, for example, the Dragon Ball Super card game. There was also an update with Dokkan concerning version Z, I believe it was, and also them trying to make the game a bit more accessible for newer players, because let's be honest, Dokkan is very intimidating. But not only that, they're also implementing a portion of the game called Peton Battle, and it's supposed to be a way for you to play Dokkan while you're AFK, which I think will also be nice. But yeah, that was really it for the games. It was a solid bit of information, and definitely worth the wait, because it wasn't as if there was absolutely nothing to do during the event itself. Whether you wanted to watch the fighters tournament, or if you wanted to see, you know, the diorama get built, the mosaic art get built, or even the legends portions where you got to see like Kagi was on the stream answering questions. We had the legends tournament as well. We had the knowledge showdown in legends, which was awesome and very surprising too, which was also where we got the reveal for Rose and Trunks. There was so much going on, or heck, even the actual application itself, just interact with other people. There was so much to do during those 12 hours. But just because there was a lot to do doesn't mean that everything was perfect. One of the biggest downsides of the event, which I think actually is the only downside of the event, was the fact that they had segments where they showed two particular like intermission trailers, if you will. One was called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot World Flight, and another one was the 100 Kamehamehas, which was practically a compilation of Kamehamehas from multiple Dragon Ball games. And initially it was fine, right? Because I think with World Flight, they actually cut segments of the trailer off up until later on in the event when the entire trailer was shown, and then that was that. And then the 100 Kamehamehas is self-explanatory. But what was getting tiresome was the fact that that's all they played for intermission. That's not good, because I get the main purpose of why they were using those trailers. Apart from intermission, they used those trailers to sync all of the other streams that was happening. Remember that the streams concerning the diorama, the mosaic art, the fighters tournament, those were all individual streams. So being able to sync them so they could start on time and end on time is obviously going to take some effort. But only having it be primarily those two trailers got very old very fast. And I think that if they're going to do a 12-hour stream, you need to have different trailers running throughout the event to keep people occupied during intermission. Otherwise, it gets old. And a lot of people were complaining about those two trailers after, I think, maybe like 2 hours in. Again, it's not like a major issue, because again, while the event was going on, there was lots of content. We were good, but it was just the intermission. Again, the purpose of the intermission makes sense, but trying to keep us like entertained during intermission, you have to have more content than that. Again, you could have shown the Xenoverse 2 trailer for, you know, the upcoming DLC. You could have shown the Gogeta trailer during that, but I understand why they held that back. But you know, just a suggestion. They could have shown more stuff or made more intermission trailers just to tide people by, and they didn't do it. So I would say that was the weakest part of the event. But apart from that, that's it. That is literally my only complaint about the event, was the intermission. Let that sink in. That means that the event succeeded in being able to supply us with sustainable content for the entirety of 12 hours. And that's not an easy thing to do at all. So the fact that they managed to do that was absolutely amazing. And I guess to wrap all this up, I hope that in the future, they actually continue to do events like this. Now, I don't know about making it 12 hours long again, but if they go along this particular format, I see Dragon Ball events doing much better than they have in the past. Because let's be serious now, although we are Dragon Ball fans, a lot of the events that happened in the past were either kind of dull, just generally not entertaining, or something in between those two. There are some that were good, but a majority of the times it's either dull or just not entertaining. This was not the case, and I'm hoping that they continue this format in the future. This was a great event, but that is only my thoughts about it. I do want to know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. If you were able to watch the event, what did you think? Did you like the fighters tournament? Did you like the information that you got? Did you like the diorama art piece? Did you like the mosaic art? Like anything concerning that event, let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm Ndukauba. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.